Hello guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're watching this video. There's something that has been bothering me. I noticed that whenever somebody is not feeling well and somebody will ask you, how are you doing? And you like, it's well. They'll be like, okay, we've not been really seeing you online, what's going on? And then you say, you have not been feeling well. And then you see people asking you, what's the problem? And like you're telling the person, okay, this is the problem. And they're like, okay, what are the doctors saying? Why do people ask people what are the doctors saying? Yes, if you ask somebody what the doctors are saying once, it's okay. But when you then begin to, like now, for example, I'm seeing 3 doctors and you're asking me what each doctor is saying. What each doctor is saying, I should begin to tell you. Are you going to begin to diagnose your own or what? Like, will you know what to do? I feel that those questions are not necessary, and that is why sometimes you see me when I'm going through stuff, I don't like to talk about it, because once you talk about it, people begin to ask you unnecessary questions. I remember when I was in the hospital, people were like, what is it that they've not found out what the problem is up till now? How can you be in a hospital this days, how many days, and they've not found out what the problem is? But they forget that doctors are not magicians. They just have to they will do investigation. They'll keep trying to do other things until they find out what the problem is. Do you understand? So it's not nice. It's very unkind. I don't know the word to use when somebody is not feeling well. And don't see people who are not feeling well and tell them, why have you lost weight? You look set. How are you looking like this? You don't look good. You've lost so much weight. Don't say that. The person is already dealing with a lot. The person is dealing with a lot. So don't add to things like that. Don't begin to tell the person you are looking this, you've lost so much weight, you have done this, you have done that. It's not a good thing. Do you get? So I just thought to do this video this morning. I've just been thinking about it. When somebody tells you, okay, for example, I'm bleeding, you should know that when somebody bleeds, the person is losing life. It's a serious thing for somebody to say, I have been bleeding for over a year. It's a very, very serious matter. Do you get? So don't begin to ask the person some kind of questions that will make the person feel really terrible. Don't do that. Nobody is comfortable falling sick. Nobody is happy being the way they are. Or do you think that it is something palatable for somebody to work from January to December and ends up in the hospital? Like everything the person had worked for the whole year, they take it to pay for hospital bills, to the point that the person has become bankrupt. It's not something that is palatable at all. So when you are talking to somebody who is not feeling well, somebody who had been through a lot, seen so many doctors, please calm down on your questions. You understand? Especially if you are not a doctor, calm down on the questions. You don't know what they don't know the person the person's mental health, how it is, and maybe the doctors are trying to be patient with the person, and then you go about asking so many questions. And another thing is, if you go to somebody who is not feeling well and suggest that they should do a GoFundMe account for the person, and the person turns it down, you should find out if some other person had asked that person the same thing and the person turned it down. Do not begin to feel that it's out of pride. No. There are a lot of people that when they are helping somebody to do something, how will I put it? They don't know how to keep their mouth shut. They will begin to push a different narrative. And that is why, if you watch carefully, you see that when people go through stuff, they don't want to put it on social media, because social media has a way of pushing a very wrong narrative about people's demise or what has happened to somebody. Take for instance, when Mohbad died, this guy had been writing in his lyrics what he's going through. He has been posting cryptic messages, and people never even thought of privately asking him questions. What are you going through? Immediately he passed on. A lot of people went out, pushing different narratives. Now, if you cannot help somebody, maybe financially or pray for the person, Do not begin to push a wrong narrative, carrying stories. Your friend calls you to tell you that this is what I'm passing through. If you cannot help that person, maybe by prayers or sending the person money, please don't talk about it to anybody. Don't talk about it, because you don't have all the facts. You don't have everything. When I say facts, you don't understand the real things that are happening to this person. The person must have told you half because of the way the world is. The person must have told you half because they don't want you to go, and because everybody has a privacy. Like, everybody should have privacy, right? So the fact that your friend is not feeling well and comes to you to tell you that this is what is happening to me, or maybe you ask that I've not been seeing you online, and the person eventually opens up to you, why do you need to carry it and discuss with other people? Is it that it's not as if they okay, even if they told the person that the person had a terminal disease, do you need to go telling people about it? Do you need to go discussing it? There's no point, because nobody knows tomorrow. Today is one person, tomorrow may be you. Tomorrow it might just be you. So be careful how you treat people who are not feeling well. Be careful how you say things about people who are hurting, and be careful what you say to people who come to you for help, especially when they are going through a downtime in their life. Be careful what you tell them, because you know this life, tables do turn. Like I was telling somebody the other day, Dangote, with all the money he has, his brother, they flew him out of this country. He died. So that's to show you that there are some things that can happen to people that money cannot solve. So if you have a friend who is not feeling well, and you know that money can sort this out, and you have the money, support the person. And if you cannot support the person, don't talk about the person. And I know that those who are going to watch this video, some of them already know where they stand in this video. If you know you cannot support your friend financially, don't gossip or talk about the person. I've seen people that went down with cancer, God healed them. And I've seen those who have so much money who also went down with cancer and they didn't make it. So please, when people are going through stuff, don't talk about it. If you cannot pray for them, then leave it. And it beats my imagination to feel that the people who even gossip about this the more are people who should be Christians, who should be Christ-like, who should know better. Then they sit down and gossip somebody. They sit down and say how this person is always complaining about they are sick. You think it's a thing of joy for somebody to be sick? You think it's a thing of joy for somebody to be complaining? And then you don't think about how would the spouse of this person feel. And some of you will now be calling the spouse to find out how is your wife doing, what's really happening to your wife. What do you want to know? What exactly do you want to know? Are you a doctor? And if you know you can, are you asking to know so that you'll be able to gossip more? And does this gossip pay you? And if it doesn't pay you, then stop it. There's no point. When rain falls, it falls on every roof, not just on one roof. Just be careful what you say to other people, because you don't know when your own time will come. I just thought to drop this. If it is a thing that you do all the time, just stop it.